Kia ora, heavy rain is set to return towards New Zealand, but also strong winds, high temperatures, and then eventually by the end of the week, some snowfall back in the mix as well. There's plenty happening as we head through towards the long weekend. We start off though with that rain already pushing in towards Fiordland, and as we head through Wednesday and Thursday, even through into Friday, we'll find that wet weather continues to move northwards. The heaviest rainfall in through Fiordland and up in towards the ranges of Westland, but with some strong northwesterly winds, that rain will be pushed across in towards the headwaters of Otago and Canterbury. So we've already got plenty of severe weather watches and warnings in place across the South Island. And with those stronger winds crossing Cook Strait as well, we've even got some wind watches out towards Wellington and Wairarapa as well. But you can see the heavy rainfall warnings that run right the way from Fiordland through Westland and up in towards Buller and Grey, and even up in towards the Tasman area as we head through the next couple of days. And with those stronger winds pushing that rainfall across in towards parts of Otago and Canterbury, we've also got heavy rain warnings in for those regions as well. It's also worth saying, with some pretty warm temperatures as well, we'll find some extra snowmelt about the tops of the Southern Alps, which will add to the water heading in towards those rivers. So do take extra care, extra caution as we head through Wednesday and Thursday. You can see though where this rain is piling in, being directed in by those northwesterly winds. So it runs in from the Tasman Sea, runs in towards the Southern Alps, and that's where we're going to find some of our highest values. Rainfall totals as much as 250 to 350 millimetres of rainfall through parts of Fiordland and Westland. And some of that rain, like I say, will make its way across in towards the watersheds on the eastern side of the hills, as much as 175 millimetres or so in towards parts of the regions around that main divide for parts of Otago and Canterbury. But it will be a wet looking story with that rain sticking with us as we head through Wednesday, Thursday, and you can see by the time we head through towards Friday, that rain has made its way northwards up through parts of Westland, Buller, Grey and the Tasman area as well. It's worth saying if you're on the North Island, keep an eye on the forecast, because I think even for us, we'll find on Saturday it's a wet and windy day. But with this rainfall, we have got plenty of warnings already in place. The warnings of places like Fiordland have already started. The watch is from Doubtful Sound southwards. The warning for those northern areas was as much as 250 to 350 millimetres of rainfall. Heading northwards, we've got that warning, for the Otago headwaters starting this afternoon. The warning for Westland starting through the evening. The Canterbury area, the Canterbury headwaters I should say, and also up in towards Buller as we go through the evening and towards the early hours of Thursday. You'll also notice we've got a strong wind watch across the Canterbury High Country. Those northwesterly winds picking up through here, perhaps reaching severe gale force in the most exposed areas as we head through the daytime on Thursday. Heading a little bit further northwards, the rain taking its time to get towards those areas of Buller and Grey and up in towards those ranges of the Tasman district, those northwestern areas, north and west of Motueka. But I think it is a case of really towards the end of the day on Thursday and through towards the early hours of Friday for you. Rainfall totals 75 to 140 odd millimetres of rainfall through parts of Buller and Grey, particularly up and towards the ranges through there. And I think lesser amounts, but still a pretty wet looking story up through the north and the west. Like I say, we have also got those strong wind watches, those northwesterly winds streaming through. The purple colours here showing the strongest winds. So I think really as we go through the daytime on Thursday through the Canterbury High Country, but even through towards the early hours of Friday, for places like Wellington and Wairarapa, we'll find those winds still reaching at severe gale force in the most exposed areas, with gusts perhaps around about 100 kilometres an hour. Sadly, we're going to find the wet, windy weather sticks with us through and towards the long weekend. For Friday, that wet weather continues to move northwards. This very warm air mass will find some pretty high temperatures around these eastern areas. But it's this wet weather that sticks with us, and it stays in place as we head through Friday and also through and towards Saturday. You'll find those darker blues across those north and western parts of the South Island, run across in towards Marlborough, but we'll find the wet weather runs across the North Island as well as we go through Saturday. Some rain being pushed on towards those eastern facing coasts of the South Island as well. Some stronger winds streaming down towards Fiordland from the east, some rather gusty winds through those central parts of the North Island as well. And yep, even the return of some snowfall about those higher parts of the South Island through parts of Canterbury and down towards Otago and Southland. So Saturday is looking like a fairly messy picture. There's plenty happening as we head through and towards that long weekend. It's a very different story to the weather we saw last weekend. But as ever, you can find all the updates on these watches and warnings, and there will be updates as we go through the next few days. We will find more watches and warnings being issued, and you can also find the latest forecasts at metservice.com.